Welcome back to the Milwaukee Show, and today we're, of course, talking about the teams that don't have a captain and who it should be on those teams, as we are in apparently captain naming season, with Quinn Hughes being named the new captain of the Vancouver Canucks. And also joining him on that list of new captains in the NHL is the Winnipeg Jets' Adam Lowry. But with those two, it seems to be the season to name a captain, so I'm going to join what a lot of YouTubers are doing and name the captain of teams who don't have one. So let's jump into it with the Anaheim Ducks alphabetically first. They come first, so let's start with them as we always do. So Anaheim. Now, I know it's hard to read on the screen here, but I've got Troy Terry listed first. Now, he signed to 2030, and he is one of the top guys on this team. And the thing about Troy Terry, as the other name who's kind of like the other top guy on this team at the current moment, is he's a better two-way guy than you get in Trevor Zegras, right? Trevor Zegras, of course, he's the face of the franchise, right? He is the next Patrick Kane of the NHL, really. The way I think about it is that he's not going to lead the league in scoring or anything, but he's changing the way people look at the game, right? He is bringing in the new wave of the icon of what kids want to resemble when they're out there playing on their own, right? Patrick Kane, that was kind of like my generation's guy, right? Where it was like, ooh, the hands, like what we could do, these dekes, it's crazy. And now Trevor Zegras is kind of this new wave of like being able to put the puck on your stick and these crazy, like, just magic tricks you can do with the puck now, right? So Zegras, but he is a more, I don't want to say selfish because he doesn't seem like a bad guy or anything, but he's definitely not really like the captain style of player. To me, it's definitely a Zegras is like the Patrick Kane A on the chest to a Troy Terry C with like Jonathan Toews. But another name that I think is under the radar when it comes to the captaincy of the Ducks is Mason McTavish. This guy has always been a leader, and he's a guy that he goes out there and he's an energy guy, right? He's in there, he's going after them. He's a Rottweiler, right? He goes out there and he's trying to create energy for his team, right? He puts everything out there on the line. He'll play defense. He'll get in his physicality, and he also can score points, and he's just getting better and better. Now, of course, he's not going to be named captain yet of this team by any means. It's way too early. But if I was to name one of these three guys or anyone on the Ducks at this point as the captain, I would wait a couple years and make it Mason McTavish. When this team is finally in their playoff window with Owen Zellweger coming up and Mintyukov eventually, Leo Carlsson, maybe he'll be the captain too, but I mean, it's too early to kind of know about his game. But to me, McTavish feels like that guy who could have the C on his chest when he is like 23, 24 years old and leading this young squad of Ducks, and he will be the heart of the team, right? So to me, Mason McTavish, Zegras, and Terry with A's on their chest. Moving on to the Arizona Coyotes. Now, for the Yotes, I think it's kind of obvious who it should be for the future. For the now, most people, of course, would say Clayton Keller, right? He's the franchise guy again. But the Coyotes are still in a predicament to me where they don't have, like, the captain player on this team. I don't think Clayton... People seem to love Clayton Keller. He seems to be a guy that every player has a great opinion of. But to me, as an outsider, so what the hell do I know, right? Like, to me, he doesn't feel like the captain on the ice. You know, the captain to me is the guy who can stand up tall and knock the other guys down, play both ways. And Keller is great, but he just doesn't rub me as that, like, kind of captain to me, right? To me, he's definitely more of an A on his chest, right? Another situation where he's like the Kane, where he's allowed to not take all the criticism from the media, right? Or what you get from Arizona media. And to me, it's like Keller, guys like Barrett Hayton, who was the captain of Team Canada, is kind of the guy to me who I see being the leader of this team, right? And with his great first year last season, what did he get, like 46 points or something like that? No, it wasn't that good. Whatever it was, he's going to get even better. And the guy just... He's one of those guys that I do see being like that captain type leader presence on the ice where he plays both ways. He will play his physicality, that aggravated style of play to get something going for his team. Not that Keller doesn't do that, but I just feel like Hayton's more of that kind of style of player, when it comes to Logan Cooley and like maybe some of the other guys coming up, I feel like it's too early to even know what will happen with guys like that. But for me, like Barrett Hayton, if I was to pick a captain in like within the next 5 years, it would be him. If I had to put one on someone now, it'd be Keller. But who knows? Even Josh Doan, the son of the former captain Shane Doan, that would be awesome as well. But for the Coyotes, I feel like they're in a predicament where like they don't really need one, and I don't really see anyone who deserves it. For the Boston Bruins, I think it's going to go to Brad Marchand. I know there's been like talks about it, and Marchand's even been asked about, and he's kind of like, if they want to put it on my chest, it's always been a vote. It's always been up to the boys. And Marchand would probably be the obvious choice among them to get the C. McAvoy's another guy, being like the defenseman who signed a long time, hometown guy as well. He's going to be around longer than Marchand is. But to me, I think it'll be a great way to send him off eventually. Not that he's retiring anytime soon. But he is the veteran of the team. He's kind of the last player of like the Bruins like good era, and not like all the team was, I mean, they just literally set the best record, but like winning the Stanley Cup and stuff, like he is the final guy from the Lucic being good, Bergeron, like Marchand, Tuukka Rask, Tim Thomas era. And to me, Marchand, he's going to get the C, right? Maybe they hold off, they just wait and don't give anyone the C, but to me, it's going to go to Marchand. To the Calgary Flames. Now, this is an interesting team because reports were like Jonathan Huberdeau could get it. And to me, if they're in a rush to name a captain, I would say give it to him. Because of the other options of guys like Backlund, Lindholm, maybe even a guy like Tanev, apparently none of them want to stay any longer. So if you're going to name someone, I would say name someone that you know is not going to be shipped to somewhere else, because Backlund, Lindholm, Tanev, along with guys like Noah Hannafin, they seemingly are on their way out of the city of Calgary. So Huberdeau, if you're going to give someone the C and you're going to do it, I would say Huberdeau. But does he deserve it? Does he, I mean, that's another type of question entirely. But he's only been on the team for 1 year, and the 1 year was like the fourth biggest drop-off in points ever in NHL history. Like, it doesn't seem like a smart choice. I would definitely say if Calgary, hold off. Don't name a captain yet. For Chicago, it's going to be Connor Bedard. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen next year, but there's no one. There's no one on this team. They're going to do a Connor McDavid situation here. Bedard will get the captaincy. There's no rush to give it to him yet. I would definitely say wait a couple years until he signs that long-term contract and then hand him to the C, right? Right now, if you were to give it to someone, I guess it would have to be probably like a Connor Murphy, because he's just been there the longest, I think. But why would you do that? I would say wait for Connor Bedard to be ready for the captaincy, then hand him that C on the chest. Philadelphia, the obvious answer is, of course, Sean Couturier, another guy that seems like just like an obvious answer. He's the best player of the team. He's that two-way, Mark Stone type of player. Could be, now that Bergeron's out of the league and he can play a season again, he could be that Selke winning candidate. Couturier is the obvious choice. It's not Konechny. It's not going to be anyone else really on that team that's left now at this point. So to me, Couturier, obvious answer. There's no one else to vie for that title. For the St. Louis Blues, Robert Thomas would be kind of the obvious one going forward. He signed till 2031, and the Blues are sticking with these guys like Kyrou, like Robert Thomas. They're shipping away guys like O'Reilly. They shipped away Tarasenko, and they're keeping around the young guys like Robert Thomas, like Jordan Kyrou. And between those two guys, if they're building for the future, Robert Thomas signed to 2031. He's a building block of the team. And it just feels like that would be an obvious answer. Guys like Justin Falk, though, he used to be the captain of the Canes when they had that weird co-captaincy thing with him and who was it? Was it Justin Williams, where they traded when it was home or away who wore the C? The strangest thing in the history of the NHL, but whatever. Justin Falk, former captain, but I think the Blues are going to be sending out some of the defensemen anytime soon, so probably not him. And guys like Shen could be cool because he has been on the team for a very, very long time. He signed to 2028, which is not a good deal, but he could be kind of that Kyle Okposo, he's getting older, he's not as usable, but he's still in the lineup. And by 2028, especially, I don't see Shen really being the type of player that he is, especially what he used to be and what he could be then in 2028 when he's like, what, 40? So he could be kind of one of those guys, defend the captains that stay on the fourth line, and he has the captaincy. But to me, it's Robert Thomas, 2031. It seems obvious there. And then with the Seattle Kraken, the league's newest team had a captain, no longer has a captain, and who should it be? Now, this is another obvious one to me that it's got to go to Matty Beniers. Matty Beniers, not yet, though. Not yet, because I would say definitely last year was his breakout as a rookie. This year he's going to do an even better. And then I'd say, like, next season I feel like you can't be the captain in the NHL without being like 3 years in, you know? So last year, this year, and then I'd say next season, he would deserve the C on his chest. Beniers, he's a homegrown talent. He was their first ever draft pick. It just makes too much sense, right? The guy, he's going to be this team's superstar player. And, well, unless Shane Wright overtakes it, but he's going to be one of them. He's built that building block, that homegrown talent. And it's just obvious. Or a guy like Schwartz, he's a veteran of the league, another guy that you could say like a Shen, where it's like he's been here a long time. Give him the C while the young guys have the A on their chest, and then eventually promote them when Schwartz retires or gets traded, something like that. So either way, I'd say something along those lines I could see working. Or a Yanni Gourde, another guy kind of like Mason McTavish that I see being like that fighter. But to me, Yanni Gourde's the type of player that, not to be mean, not that I've got anything against Yanni Gourde, but he seems like one of those players that I could easily see just randomly one season just completely just being nothing, and I just see that happening. Like, he does not feel like he should be the captain of a team. But a guy like Beniers getting the A for now, and then Schwartz gets the C, he retires, and then promoting Beniers to the captain of the team feels like the right choice. And that is all I've got to say. So thank you for watching this. If you've watched this, please tell me below how stupid I am and how idiotic I think that freaking Brad Marchand or Huberdeau could be the captain and Bedard is the captain. The guy's insane. So tell me how stupid I am down below. And until next time, too sweet. Have an amazing day. And ta-ta for now.